In this video, we're going to talk about the author review. The author review is the time period between your first and second round of edits when you get a chance to look at your edited manuscript, decide what you like and don't like, make any necessary revisions, and then send it back to me for the second round of edits. The first thing you want to do during your author review is to actually wait to look at your manuscript until you're in the right mindset. So it can be kind of hard sometimes to look at our editors' suggestions, questions, edits, revisions, changes. There can be a lot there, and it can be more than you're expecting. And so before you open up your manuscript, make sure that you feel pretty good about your writing, but that you know that you can work on it and there's always room for improvement, and you're feeling eager to find out what you could do to make it even better. The second step in the author review is to take a look at your editorial letter. This is a report basically that I write of any overall issues with the manuscript or overall things that I love, things that I want to make sure that you see that might also be in the manuscript itself, but I like to put it in a nice editorial letter. I only do editorial letters for manuscripts over 40,000 words. So if your manuscript is less than that, you may not see an editorial letter, and that's just because there's fewer things to say for shorter manuscripts. The third step is to actually open up the manuscript and go through each of my comments. In the example edited manuscript I'm about to show you, you're going to see few comments. Usually I have more. It's just because this is a fake manuscript that I'm using for an example. So you may see anywhere from 0 to 10 comments on a page. That's normal. Don't worry about it. So you're going to go through each comment starting at the beginning and answer any questions that I have. Sometimes I'll have questions for you to clarify things, and my revision will depend on your answer. Sometimes I will have multiple ideas or suggestions for you to choose from. Sometimes I'm telling you what I love. There's lots of things that could be in the comments. Start at the beginning of the manuscript, and then right here is the comment. It'll take you to the next comment. So if you just keep pressing that, it'll take you through the full manuscript, because often there are dozens of comments. So I just clicked next and it took me here. So this is just a made-up comment, but what you would do is you would read it. If you had a response, like I was asking you a question as I am here, you would click reply and type in your comment and then press this little blue arrow, and it leaves the comment for me. Another thing that could be done, if you want to delete your comment, you press these little 3 dots, delete comment. If you want to, let's say you make the comment and then you want to edit it, you just click that little pencil and edit your comment however you want. And then we'll move to the next comment. Here it is. So you don't have to reply. Like sometimes I will just have something, something nice that I've said. If you don't feel the need to reply to that, you don't need to. Please do always respond if I'm asking a question. If I've given a suggestion, sometimes I'll give suggestions and comments for various ways you could revise something, like a sentence or a paragraph. You can either, respond, yes, I would love that, or no, I don't think that's fits my vision, or whatever it is. Or you can then make the change yourself, but please make sure that track changes is on. So down here at the very bottom of the screen, you'll see it says track changes on. If you go up to, again, we're in the review tab. If you go to track changes, this should be selected. If it's not, it'll be completely white, but you want it to be on. And then you can go ahead and then make the change as I suggested. And then I'll see that when I go through it in the second round. If you make your changes without this, I may not always notice it as well. It's just best. I like to see when you've added or deleted or revised something. And the fourth step is to then read through your manuscript and the whole thing. You don't have to do it all at once, but just start from the beginning and read through. And you'll notice my inline edits, and you will look at each of those and see whether you like them. Often there'll be things that you don't want to say no to. You know, maybe it's a missing period here or a word used incorrectly there. Those kinds of things, of course, you're most likely going to accept. And things that you are unsure of, you can always select, create a comment, and ask me a question. Or things that you don't like, again, select the area, create a comment, and tell me what you didn't like about it. Tell me that you want to leave it as it was. So there are different views in the review tab of Word. If you're in the track changes section, you'll see here is all markup. Right now it's all markup. What that means is you can see every single change that I've made in the manuscript. If you go up here into track changes and you change it to simple markup, what it does is it acts as though all your changes have been accepted. So all the changes will be pretty much invisible. You can't see where I've made the changes. And that helps sometimes sometimes there will be parts of your manuscript where there are a lot of little suggestions or edits or changes, or maybe I've reworded a whole paragraph. By the way, I'll usually always put that in a comment or at least mark it with a comment. But sometimes, yes, I will make the edits in line, and they'll be kind of, bigger edits. And so it can get really difficult to read and decide whether you like it or not. So you change it to simple markup like I did, and then it reads like as though it would if you had accepted all my edits. But don't worry, you can always go back to all markup and see the edits again. So it's not actually accepting the edits. It's just showing you what it would look like if you did. So sometimes you'll see this here and your comments will be way over here. This is just showing any formatting changes I or you have made. Like here, I decided to italicize this word. So if you don't want to see that, because that's kind of annoying, you can go to Show Markup and unclick Formatting. So now it's only showing the insertions and the deletions and the comments. If you feel comfortable accepting the changes that you like, the changes or edits, revisions that I've made that you like, you can go ahead and do that. What you do is you go to each edit and you press accept, and see how it went ahead and deleted the 50s. And if you want to accept this so that, that's accepted as well, you're just going to have to press accept again. You can move between the inline edits by being on one and then clicking next, previous, through the entire manuscript, please. And you don't have to accept the edits. You could just read through it. And then when you see something you don't like, of course you wouldn't change this because it's correct, but say you didn't like one of my edits, you would select it, press new comment. You can also do that up here, new comment. And then, don't really like this and maybe your reason, and then the blue arrow, and then I'll know not to accept that later. You can also reject. I do prefer that you do what I had mentioned before, which is selecting it and creating a new comment and letting me know, this is not a change I like. The reason for that is if you reject the changes I made that you didn't like, when I go in and do my second round of edits, I'm not going to remember each and every change I made. And I just might remake, redo that change thinking that I missed it last time. And if it's, and then you're going to have to go through it again and decide, no, I didn't want that change. So it's best just to make a comment if you don't like a change rather than do any rejecting. So the accepting is fine. That's actually helpful for me, but I absolutely don't require it. You can just leave everything that you like, but don't reject. Just leave a comment for me on changes that you don't like, and I will do the rejecting. Once you've gone through your whole edited manuscript, you've responded to all my questions, you've made all the revisions that you want to, you've let me know where there were revisions that you didn't like, you are ready to schedule your second round of editing with me. You should have received an email by now, which will give you a link to my scheduler, and you're going to choose a Monday to start the second round. It's going to look like you're scheduling a 30-minute appointment with me, but that's not the case. You're actually just starting. It's just a way for me to note on my calendar, I'm starting this second round this day. If your manuscript is fewer than 80,000 words, the second round should take about 1 week. And if it's over 80,000 words, it should take about 2 weeks. You'll get an email that says, schedule a start date for your project's second pass. And you will click schedule here. And then it'll give you options. It looks like you're scheduling for an 8 a.m. appointment, but really all you're doing is letting me know that's when you want me to start. So you're going to send me your manuscript back before. So say you chose October 2nd, you would send it by maybe Saturday, the previous Saturday. That'd be nice. I would get it and I would start your second edit on that Monday.